Hey guys, Audrey here with Flawless Crested Geckos, and this week we're going to talk some more about vending trade shows or reptile shows. So last week I went over some more broad spectrum things that you need at a trade show or a reptile show. But this week, considering we're going to be leaving in 2 days to go to the biggest platform as far as reptile shows on the planet, pretty much, the NARBC Tinley Park in Chicago. We're leaving Thursday morning early to try to get down there and get checked in and stuff. We're actually staying at the Venue Hotel this time. This will be our first experience with a Venue Hotel, so we're really excited about that. But anytime you go to a show, anytime you're vending or anything like that, obviously if you saw the last video or you heard me speak about some more broad spectrum topics, the bigger topics, obviously healthy animals, your personality, your smile. But there's always those things that you need, and you may put it on the checklist, or maybe you forget to put it on the checklist and you get there and you're setting up and you're like, dang it, I forgot X, Y, and Z. So this video is going to be geared towards some of the things that we take along with us that are kind of small but make a huge difference as it pertains to when you're setting up or when you're just going through the day-to-day, as far as just the normal run-of-the-mill actions of actually vending a show. These are some of the small things. So get your notepad and pen and paper out, because this is going to be one of those things where you're going to want to take all this stuff down. So let's get started. When you pull up to the venue and you're starting to unload, you'll notice in the parking lot that a lot of people obviously have trailers or their big vans that are packed out with different things. In fact, when we first hit the scene, we were watching different people pull up and unload their trailers, and saw some of the most awesome, most innovative things that we wouldn't have even thought about if we hadn't seen it. For instance, one that comes to mind is Gecko Junkie Tristan with Gecko Junkie. They have their setup and breakdown and stuff. Literally, it's like a fine art with them. And one of the things we noticed that was really cool is because they have such large displays with a lot of stuff on there. They sell stickers and merchandise and items that go into enclosures, and obviously enclosures and just accessories of everyday things that reptile owners might need. They actually have carts that are their displays. And instead of taking all of that stuff down out of their carts every day and package them in totes or whatnot, they just saran wrap the entire thing, and it keeps it from going anywhere, keeps it safe, and they're able to roll it right up on the trailer and out the door they go. For us guys that don't really utilize big displays like that with lots of extra accessories, and we're just bringing our animals, maybe a little food, one thing is a cart of some sort. When you're driving up, like I said, you'll see everybody, they're pulling up with their trailers or trucks, all that kind of stuff, and you're going to need a cart. We ended up needing a cart and hand trucks and all this kind of stuff. So we ended up buying a large red cart that actually we don't have anymore because it broke. But in all fairness, that would work for a smaller one table setup. And now we actually have hand trucks. Our hand trucks, we have 3 different styles of hand trucks, and 2 of them actually fold out into carts. So you're going to want to have a cart of some sort, because you're not going to want to have to take multiple trips back and forth to the venue outside to the parking lot. That just wastes a lot of time. So anything that you can do to make your trip from your trailer or truck or vehicle, whatever your things are in, a one tripper or maybe 2, do it. So for us, obviously there's 2 of us, and sometimes we bring our kids along, so sometimes we legitimately have 3 hand trucks full of stuff going in at one time. Once you get into the venue, obviously you're gonna see a lot of people, they're setting up, things are everywhere, and we sort of have this system now. It's hard for us to set up. We're always like the last one to get finished setting up, and I think it's because we just like end up stopping and talking to everybody. we can't just go straight through the setup. We have to talk. We're like talkers. But anyway, that being said, you want to get a system in place. So when you pull up into your booth and you start to, break whatever down that is there that you're not going to use, and then start to put your things together, you're going to want to go from the back and down, okay? So you start at the bottom and the back of your booth and go up with it and out. That seems to be the best thing that we have done as far as setup is concerned. We pull out all the tables and then we start making whatever it is that we're setting our sign up on. So that goes first in the very back, and then our sign goes up. Once our sign is up, then everything else falls into place. So that being said, when our sign goes up, it's very important that you know where your electricity and such is, as far as where it comes in, because you're going to obviously need electricity if you're using lighting or using heat. Like, we don't have to have any heat for our crested geckos, but I know a lot of people obviously have to have heat for snakes of different kinds or animals of different kinds that they have. So it's important to know where your plug-in is, and you may want to bring some extra heavy-duty extension cords. In addition to the extension cord, you're going to want to bring some like painter's tape. And what that does is you're able to put your extension cord in and run it across your booth, and then tape your extension cord down to the carpet or whatever flooring that is in your venue. That way, when you're behind your booth, or if you have an open booth, then your people, your customers, or you aren't tripping every time you turn around on an extension cord and going flying across the way and end up hurting yourself or knocking animals off or whatever. So extension cords and surge protectors, those are really, really important, because you have one plug and then you've got to run it to all your different areas of your booth. You're going to want a basic toolkit. We realized pretty quick like that obviously there are, when you have light setups and display setups and sign setups and all these different setups, you're going to need a toolkit. You need some screwdrivers, a flathead and Phillips head. You're going to want some extra little screws. You're going to want maybe a, what's it called? The tool that is, oh gosh, so what are those things called? If you know what I'm talking about, the ones with the pliers that have all the extra, not the Swiss Army, but like the, I forget what it is. It's a multi-purpose tool anyway, but they actually there's a brand out there that I'm trying to think of. Leatherman, that's right. That is what it is. I knew it would come to me in a second. But you might want to have a Leatherman on hand, or a multi-purpose tool to help you, like pliers. It comes with a knife. I think it comes with screwdrivers. But you're going to want to have one of those there just in case you need to bend something. Maybe something got bent in transport, but you're going to want to have a small basic toolkit. And sometimes, you might need a tape measure just to see how far out you're coming, or some of those things. So tape measures, just a basic toolkit. Also, in your toolkit, you might want to think about keeping some zip ties. Zip ties help a lot, and also maybe a hammer. That's another little tool that you might need to have. A little hammer, a little rubber hammer, a little regular hammer, those things might be really helpful. And 2 extra batteries. If you have anything that has a battery powered pack or anything like that that isn't a plug-in type of situation, you might want to have extra AAA, AA batteries. We always bring that type of stuff with us. Wherever we go, we've got some AAA and AA batteries. That seems to always be the case, where we end up going and buying 2 and 3 packs of batteries, and it's like so not necessary. You're going to want to have a kit of tech supplies. And when I say tech supplies, you're going to want to have chargers, USB, the small UCB or whatever it is. You're going to want to have every different type of charger that you need as far as, your tech items. So if you have iPads, or you have iPhones or Android systems, or you have a Bluetooth speaker that you like to play music on to kind of set the environment for your booth, those are all things you're really going to want to make sure you keep extras of. Nothing worse than having your iPad or your laptop and it dies, and now you don't have easy access to your point of sale that I mentioned in the original video, the way you take payment. So make sure you have your tech supply kit in addition to your regular toolkit and your surge protectors and power cords. One thing that was really cool is we have a surge protector that has all the traditional plugins, but it also has USB plugins as well. And we actually have some little gadgets. Will is like the tech guy. He loves to pick up little things that plug in and dongles here and just different things. But you might want to have some plugs that have the new UC, I think it's called UCB, but anyway, it's the new power cords that goes to like the Nintendo Switches and the iPads and the newer style laptops like the iPad Pro, or Lord, if I can get it out, the MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. So you may want to have some of those different blocks that actually plug into a regular plug-in that have those adapters. It's an adapter. But yeah, so make sure you have all of those chargers with you. Like I said, nothing worse than having your point of sale there and then bam, it's dead and you don't have a charger to plug in to get it powered back up. So that's really, really important. You're gonna wanna have cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies including, you know, some kind of cleaning solvent, some kind of spray that helps you clean the items, clean the things. If you have acrylic displays or even glass displays, you're going to want, like for glass, we use like Windex or something like that. For the acrylic displays, they make actual acrylic cleaner. If you use certain things on those acrylic displays, you take a chance on, you risk scratching them. So we actually recommend an actual acrylic cleaner to clean those, or either some water. We do use just regular water on the outsides and such, because anytime these displays are traveling, and I am like notorious where I can't stand it. I hate for the lights to shine on it and then it looks like there's dust. I swear I probably clean those things a gazillion times a day, and that's probably what takes us so long in setup, because I am like anal about it. It drives me insane to see any type of dust or anything on our display. So you're gonna wanna have some kind of cleaner, water bottle, paper towels. Paper towels are a big thing. If you think you've got enough paper towels, you probably don't. Those spray bottles, we are notorious. We end up having like 4 and 5 spray bottles here at the house, and then when we get there, we realize, crap, we forgot our spray bottles. So we end up running to a Family Dollar or Dollar General or Harbor Freight or somewhere and grabbing up 4 and 5 of these little spray bottles that end up breaking on us. So if I had to say, like, I think we were in Daytona and we bought like 3 extra bottles at the Family Dollar, and when we got there, like, 1 bottle was cracked, 1 nozzle didn't work, and so out of the 3 we ended up having 1 spray bottle. So that does not help you when both of you are trying to clean things out. So have extra spray bottles with water, and again, have you some Windex or some kind of cleaner, sanitary napkins, like maybe like the Clorox wipes, the Lysol wipes. Those are always good to have on hand, because anytime you're dealing with animals, you're gonna have poop, right? So we need to keep it sanitary. You want to keep your hands sanitary. So always have a big bottle of hand sanitizer on hand. At reptile shows specifically, there are going to be a lot of children that come through that want to hold these animals. Now, each vendor has to decide what they're comfortable with. We in particular always take at least 1 or 2 of our geckos that we know are extremely calm, extremely chill, and are not easily stressed by being handled. So we always take some of those, and we're always able to, when a child comes through and they're really interested and parents are there and they're okay with it, and they listen, you know, your kids have to listen. So make sure, parents, if you're bringing your children to reptile shows and they find a vendor that is willing to let them hold an animal and experience that they listen to what that vendor tells them to do, or else it just becomes a bad situation. But we always, like I said, if you're vending and you're bringing Cresties, you need to remember in your head that not everybody is used to the jumping and things like that. So if you will, bring an animal that, and you're going to allow people to hold your animals, bring an animal that you know is not easily stressed by handling and is just usually pretty chill and calm. And that's the ones that we allow our kids to hold when we're right there with them. We don't ever leave an animal with somebody that is not accustomed to what that animal's characteristics are as far as jumping, because it will scare them, and that's not cool. We're not in the business to scare kids. We're in the business to make kids more comfortable with these animals so that we further our community. But saying that, you need to make sure you have hand sanitizer on your table so that when children do come up, you don't know where their hands have been. You don't know if they've held countless other animals that day, and you want to keep your animals safe. So you have them sanitize their hands very good, and make sure obviously with Cresties, their little bodies pick up things. They pick up our oils and the different things that are on our hands that could not be good for them. So make sure that they completely dry their hands out after they put their hand sanitizer, let me see if I can get that out too, on, and that way, they can hold them and it's safe for both animal and child. In addition to maintain cleanliness in your booth, you're gonna wanna take you an extra little box of trash bags. Trash cans are throughout most venues, but chances are you're not gonna have time to be running to the big trash can to throw things away. In a lot of venues, they'll provide you with a small trash can. Like every booth has like a little small trash can. But that small trash can, that one trash bag gets filled up really quickly. So always, always, always bring you an extra box of trash bags. We like to set like 2 up. We put one in the regular trash can, and then we hang one behind the booth on like a hook that's off the table off of one of our light displays. So we hang one there so that we always consistently have something that we can throw dirty paper towels in and things like that. When we talk about the cleanliness of behind the booth, we want to keep everything sanitary. Also, in addition to sanitary items or being, extra clean, make sure we're dealing with animals here. Make sure you always have a little first aid kit, some Band-Aids, some antibiotic creams, some medicines and such like that. Sometimes an animal might bite you. Now, crested geckos in general, typically, even if they bite you, it's not hard and they don't draw blood. But in the event that they do get like a piece of skin that is sensitive or that is really thin and they do make you bleed, you're gonna want to have a little Band-Aid there to make sure you cover that. Nobody wants to shake a hand of a person who's got an open wound. That's not good. So that's not sanitary. So make sure you keep a first aid kit on hand with you. Just something small. They sell them at the Dollar Tree or like in your little travel sections of Walmart or whatever other store that you might go to. They have like small little Band-Aid travel kits, or just grab some from your bathroom cabinet or wherever you keep your medicines and stuff with you. Just make sure you have some Band-Aids, because in addition to animals possibly taking a little nip out of your finger, you have to worry about those times when you're putting the displays together and all of a sudden something pinches your finger or bends your nail back, and then not only are you bleeding, but you're probably cursing too. So keep something on hand. Keep a Band-Aid, some antibiotic cream, some medicine on hand for you. Plus, you might have a headache throughout the day. You want to keep some Tylenol, some Excedrin migraine, something, Advil, whatever. You're also going to want to keep some comfortable shoes on hand. You're standing all day. Your back is going to hurt. Your head is probably going to hurt. Things are, I'm getting older, like I'm not getting any younger, and we hurt as we age and we're standing there all day. Will and I haven't exactly been very nice to our bodies over the course of the last 10 years, considering we were both police officers and we put our bodies through it. And so it's important for you to make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes for all day, and just making sure you have some pain medicine on hand, in case of that headache or that random back pain or whatnot. Also, we do have mats that we take which cushion the floors A lot of these venues are cement floors and they have maybe carpet over the top of them, but there is no give to that. So you might want to take you some mats that when you're standing, you stand kind of on them, or try to stand most of your time on them, because it does cushion that floor and keeps it from being so hard, that hard floor that you're standing on all day. So comfortable shoes, some medicine for your aches and pains, and then if you feel it necessary, get you some mats that you can stand on that cushion the blow from all day standing. You're also going to want to have obviously some storage, some form of storage. Now, I talked about your structures in the last video last week, and you're going to want some storage. So inside our structures, for instance, for us, we had to figure out how to raise our sign a lot so that we could get more surface area for our space, so we can maximize the space, since we are trying to bring as many animals as possible and have enough room to display things appropriately in such a small little area. So we figured out that we could get the Billy bookcases from IKEA, the taller ones, and then we painted them black, and they have shelving in them. So what ended up happening is we put one shelf on one side and one on the other, and then we're able to use that as extra shelving. And then underneath our sign, since it's up so high, we are able to put 2 tables that have storage underneath. And then obviously our table claws go all the way to the ground for us, so we're able to stow things underneath the tables out of sight. You want things to look clean and put together behind your booth. You don't want it to look just like a whole mess. That's just, to me, that looks chaotic, and to me it's not as professional as somebody who has everything in its place or where it should go, so also it helps you find things. I'm really scattered. Y'all know, if you followed us for any length of time, that I'm ADHD, so I'm extremely scattered as it pertains to where everything is, especially when I'm stressed and trying to do a whole bunch of things at one time. So it helps me to stay really organized behind my booth, so that I know, okay, my extra tape, my extra trash bags, my extra paper towels is right here in this cubby hole. I've got extra t-shirts over here in this cubby hole. This is where, our stickers and things like that go in this cubby hole. So it's just good to have extra storage for behind your booth, to keep things clean, organized, and simple to reach when you need it. Now, you heard me mention stickers just now. So another thing that is really important to have is all of your marketing things. Now, I mentioned marketing as a whole in the last video, but let's go into kind of some detail as far as what you might want to take with you. We here at Flawless, we have our logos that we've made ourselves, and then some that we've had made, and all of it is fun. We've actually used AI to create our likeness and have some new stickers with our likeness on it. That is fun, but you're going to want to have all your little marketing things. So don't forget your stickers, your business cards, any flyers that you like to hand out, any of those small things. Bring extra, anything that you utilize. Like for us, we have obviously Flawless, and you can see the diamond in the background. There's a diamond over here, and so we are all about the diamonds. And we bring little acrylic plastic diamonds, the little clear ones and the little red ones that go along with our color theme. And we put those kind of in the displays, and once and again we'll sometimes set some out just to decorate parts of the table when we have a very large booth, especially when we're putting up clothes and things. We'll put it there just to draw the eye, and it really does. It really draws the attention. It draws the eye, and it's fun. So you don't forget your extras of that. It's always fun to have, to be able to decorate your tables, or to be able to make sure you hand out something that somebody can actually take home and look at, and then refer back to. If they did say they didn't make a purchase with you there, but you got into a conversation and y'all really clicked, and then you handed them a business card, or you handed them, a little flyer, or you handed them a sticker, and now they're going back through their things. When they get home, they're like, oh, this is cool, Flawless, they were really good people. Let me look up their website since I have this information on hand. You also going to want to make sure that you bring extra stuff for your payment processing. If you do you know, if you use labels on like your deli cups instead of writing it on there, you want to do labels. You're going to want to bring extra label paper. We are notorious for getting to the show and not having extra label making paper, and then we're having to run around to every Walmart, every store we can think of that might have our label paper, and end up buying an extra label maker just because we ended up forgetting it. So this time around, Will was very proactive and purchased some off of Amazon for our particular label maker. So they just came in 2 days ago and he got a bunch. So we're good as long as I remember to put them in the go bag. But label making paper, any type of payment process, and if you do receipts, like actual paper receipts, you're going to want to make sure you have your paper that goes into your little printers for your payment processing. You know, or if you are planning to do it digitally, just make sure you have all your, you know, I told you to make sure you have your chargers, but you want to make sure you have your actual technology with you as well, your devices that you use for payment processing. So that's very important. You're going to want to have something that you put cash in. Anytime you are in a big area with a lot of people who knows that there is a lot of cash transactions going on, there's gonna be some bad apples in that group. So make sure that you know exactly where your cash is, and you make sure that nobody else knows where your cash is. You can keep a cash box in a little cubby hole somewhere, in a tote, in something that only you know where it is, because once cash is gone, they don't track that. It's not like a credit card. So a lot of people actually nowadays don't like dealing in cash just because of that reason. They don't like keeping it on them because loss or theft, you know, that the chances or the probability of loss or theft of your cash goes up significantly when you carry it around all the time. It's just statistics. But if you are going to work with cash, which we do, make sure you keep it where you know where it's at, and be capable of making sure that you can handle yourself in the event that you do find somebody that's getting a little sticky fingers and grabbing something up. So yeah, I'd hate to see the person that tried to steal from us at our booth. Like, that wouldn't go down very well at all. But it is what it is. Like, that would be a bad day for someone. Yeah, don't do it. Not a good idea. But that being said, make sure you have a safe, secure spot to put your cash in. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to actually discuss with you, and I don't even know if I'm on 6, 7, whatever I'm on now at this point, is something, I say this because I'm the one that typically finds this very important, and my kids, whenever we get to the show and my kids, you know, are like, I'm hungry, or I'm this, or I'm thirsty, or blah, 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 and they're belly aching about food, you know, I'm usually the one that's more worried about their stomachs and their comfort than Will is. Will's like, they'll be fine. You know, this is business. We're not worried about our stomachs right now. But you want to make sure that you take like a little cooler. I have a little cooler that I put ice in it, and then it has a little compartment that you can put some dry goods in. So protein bars, granola bars, little chewy granola bars, fruit snacks, things like that. I usually try to go to Sam's or Costco or whatever your local like wholesale club type thing is, and buy up, you know, several boxes of different snacks that I know that the kids like or that we like, that can keep us going throughout the day. Especially if you have family members or you are susceptible to like problems with sugar or things like that, you're going to want to keep some kind of snack on there, to snack in your bag or behind your booth to keep you going. We usually try to bring bottles of water. I'll bring some like fruit juices or things like that have a little sugar in them to give you a little pick-me-up. But you're going to want to make sure you kind of bring some snacks from throughout the day. Once you get there, especially if it's just you, it's very, very difficult to leave your booth. With Will and I, we try to take turns going out and about, and usually it's Will that's like going out and about, and I end up getting behind the booth all day. I rarely get out from behind the booth, but that being said, you're going to want to make sure you try to have some sustenance behind your booth. In addition, some of these places that you go to, you need to be aware of the weather that is happening there. So for us, we're in the South. It's usually a lot warmer here than it is in Chicago or New York or Baltimore or wherever, you know, you're going. So just make sure you know what the weather is going to be like. March, Tinley, last year was frigid. When I tell you it was like negative 12 degrees, I was miserable. We had all these different ideas about how after the show we were going to go out and explore this and take the kids here and take the kids there. And as soon as all of us stepped out of the venue, we're like, we're going to go get food and we're going back to the hotel where it's warm. And then it started snowing on us. So make sure that you know the weather. So, you know, sometimes it can get really, really hot in those venues because they have the heat cranking and there's so many people, so there's so much hot air blowing in and out, and it's so cold outside they keep it warm in there that you get hot. So the best thing you can do for situations like that is layer yourself. So layer up, and then that way throughout the day as you get hot you can take the layers off. We tend to wear our jerseys throughout the weekend. We may wear like t-shirts or something like that for Friday setup, but typically we wear our jerseys Saturday and Sunday. And usually in the cold destinations, we always make sure we have on those long sleeve, like what are they? They're like the Under Armour shirts or the East Bay shirts that are like the tighter heat compression style shirts, and that helps us stay warm. And then when it gets hot throughout the day, I usually don't get hot, but Will does, he'll jerk that shirt off and then put his jersey back on and he's good to go. So layers is a really good thing. Also, you might want to make sure you have lip balm and moisturizer on hand. We always picking on Will because his hands, bless his heart, yeah, he needs lotion. But and he's always picking on me because my lips are forever chapped. And so he's like, babe, he's like, handle your lips because they're chapped. And I'm like, well, handle your hands. Stop talking about my lips and go get some lotion because your hands need it. But anyway, that's as far as comfort levels and making sure you take care of yourself throughout the weekend. That's just really important to have all these little essentials on hand. So that's about all I can really think of at this time. It's like I say, those are a lot of the little things that sometimes you forget as you go. Yeah, and you know, when you get there, you don't want to have to spend your time after you've driven 10 plus hours to get somewhere running around to the different stores picking things up and all that kind of stuff. So just trying to make sure you have a checklist of things and you make sure all of that gets in the vehicle before you pull out of your home and end up at the destination without. Just trying to help you guys kind of go through that checklist and see and make sure that we give you what we find that has helped us a lot throughout the way. So anyway, if there's any other things that you can think of that I've missed, I would love to hear it in the comments. Tell us, because that might be something that we want to take with us this time. So I appreciate y'all watching, appreciate the subscriptions. So make sure if you're not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell, because we have a lot of people that say they never get notified of our videos and they'll see them later. So make sure you're hitting that notification bell, and we hope this has helped you. All right, we'll see you next time. I'm out.